Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Mace, coming to you from Canada. This story is pretty wild and I think really crystallizes, exemplifies why people should stay away from the US right now. A 7-year-old Canadian girl and her mother detained in an ICE facility in Texas. All right, let's take a look.
CTV's Abigail Beeman has been digging into the case for us. Abigail, where do things stand?
Amanda, a bereft Texan husband and stepfather is trying everything he can. He got a lawyer, started a GoFundMe page, reached out to Global Affairs Canada, but isn't getting much information about why his family is detained.
It's no place for a 7-year-old to be.
No place to be is the Texas Detention Center known.
Yeah, typically being held in detention in a cage is not the best place for a 7-year-old.
As Ursula, since renovated, but once known for holding children in cages. Edward Warner says his Canadian wife, Tanya Warner, and her daughter have been there since Saturday. Ayla Lucas has autism and is just 7 years old.
It's overcrowded, very loud, and they're just very stressed out right now.
The family lives less than 4 hours from the Mexican border. Edward says on Saturday they were coming home from a baby shower for.
So I'm very curious, what's the reasoning here? How do they end up in the ICE facility in the first place?
They're south in Texas and, as they've done before, drove through a border checkpoint and showed ID when something went wrong.
Yeah, I was kind of unaware that the U.S. has these border checkpoints, sometimes like 100 kilometers into the U.S., but, you know, along the U.S.-Mexico border, and they'll just stop you. Like, you would think in the land of the free, you know, you'd be able to avoid or just say, you know, jump through their hoops, but not be detained without due process and just thrown in cages for multiple days. Like, that's wild. They're
Took her in saying that they need to fingerprint her to get more information, and she never came back out.
Warner provided CTV News this Social Security document that shows Tanya's citizenship status as a lawful alien with the right to work. Tanya and Ayla are in the process of immigrating from BC. They've lived in Texas about 5 years.
The priority is the trauma experienced by the 7-year-old in detention.
This immigration lawyer says PTSD after time in detention is not uncommon, nor is it uncommon for entire families to be detained for days or even months until their cases are sorted.
If you're Canadian in status with the right paperwork, you're still in jeopardy.
Meanwhile, Edward is doing everything he can, using a GoFundMe page to help hire a lawyer and still trying to understand what happened. All he knows is officers suggested there was a problem with a document number.
It's horrifying. I mean,
a problem with a document number. So
it's not somewhere you want your family to be at, and it's not something anybody should have to really go through.
CTV News reached out to ICE and the Department of Homeland Security to ask about this case and why a 7-year-old is still in detention. The government acknowledged our request and even asked for some follow-up information about the pair, but didn't answer our questions by deadline. Amanda?
All right, Abigail, thanks so much.
yeah, the bureaucracy of an increasingly fascist government. Yeah, probably not easy to navigate, right? So I think this story, like I said at the beginning, definitely makes it clear that even if you have your paperwork in order, everything is good, you're Canadian, you can be detained indefinitely and held against your will. Nice. Thanks, US. That's great. I am curious, just curious, and I'm not making any assumptions. I'm just curious. who the husband voted for. Just curious. All right. See you guys on the next one.